Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Hello and welcome. This is Brian, the Jack of all trades, the master of none. Guess what? Today, I'm in uniform. We're going to talk about some stuff involving Star Trek. And guess what? It's going to be good. Let's see. Who is here today? We've got Mr. Black Ops. He was here earlier. And if you want to come on and talk some Star Trek games, because that's what we're here to talk about today, yeah, feel free to join. And come on in and we'll talk some stuff. And if I don't get anyone to come in, guess what? We'll play some Star Trek Online. We'll have some fun either way. But yeah, no, let's kind of kick it off with a little bit of history with me and Star Trek games. I became a Star Trek fan in the early 90s, just because that was the thing during that time to get involved with. The system that I had at the time was the Super Nintendo, like I'm sure a lot of people had, but I really, really enjoyed this game. So, without any further ado, we'll show you one of the first Star Trek games I've ever played. Yeah, so take a look. This game is called Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Oh, heck yeah. Come on in, Ambassador. Come on in whenever you are ready, sir. Just here to talk about some Star Trek games that you may or may not have played throughout. But I'll tell you what, this game, circa 1994, was one of the funnest games I ever played as a kid. And if you see the graphics, you say to yourself, oh my goodness, times have changed and things have gotten so much better. But I like this game because it was one of the first ever experiences that I got to command a starship, kind of. So I always enjoyed that kind of experience as far as Star Trek is concerned. Hey, Garguts, what's up, man? Not much. Kind of taking everybody on a little history tour of some of the Star Trek games that I've played in the past. This game here is it's called Starfleet Academy. Yeah, no, but anyways, it was kind of like a flight simulator, combat simulator type game, and it had some missions where you do some other things such as like scientific exploration, stuff like that. So it was a pretty well-rounded game as far as it was, especially for the Super Nintendo. I mean, you could definitely tell the quality as far as that goes. Oh, we got Rhea. Hey, Rhea, what's happening? Welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Niner for Life, welcome. Hey guys, how you doing? Let's see here. Any TNG specific game faves? Yes. Actually, as far as the next generation specific, I did. One of the other ones I wanted to talk about tonight was the SNES game that they had on there, Futures Past. I played that game for the NES or Super Nintendo, and my goodness, that was fun. One of the other games that I played, and just give me a second here, I'll pull it up. Let's see. But that game was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I've got also, let's see here. Let's see, for the Xbox 360, they had this wonderful game called Star Trek Legacies, and We'll take a look. I'll show you. Oh, dang it. Just want to see some gameplay. But anyways, yeah. This is one of the first kind of flight simulator type games that I played for Star Trek. I really enjoyed this game. The story for it's really good. You start out with the NX-01. Oh, dude. Yes. Like, I remember the one that the one they had for Sega was really badass. I like that one. Actually, one of the second Star Trek games I had was it was like a text-based RPG, and like a floppy disk with it. And yeah, man, those were the days right there. Like text-based RPGs where like no pictures, no nothing, just type in what you want to do and then do the commands and all that other kind of stuff. But yeah, so I mean, those games were always a lot of fun. For the first one I played, though, like I said, I just showed before, was a Starfleet Academy. It's always a good game to kind of get you oriented. And the other one I kind of wanted to talk about is the second or one of the third or fourth games that I played, and it wasn't necessarily a it wasn't a what you call it. It wasn't a video game per se. It was the Star Trek: The Next Generation customizable card game. I talked about this last night. I could show off some of the pictures here in a second. Oh man. But yeah, no, I was watching some of the videos. I didn't know they actually still played the game. Yeah, there's still groups of folk that play the game, and yeah, all that good stuff. Let's see here, stop screen. See, I gotta get better at this. I never really host. Let's see here. Chrome tab. Boom. All right. So, anyways, this card here on display from the game was one of the, at the time, I believe, was one of the rarest ones to find. The Future Enterprise, one of my favorite ones from All Good Things. I really enjoyed the look of it. It's also one of my favorite ships to use on Star Trek Online, which we will discuss later. Basically, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, but with Star Trek instead. It was really capturing on the William said it last night, the Magic the Gathering craze. Like everybody was playing Magic the Gathering, and so like the next best thing was Star Trek. And then a lot of them that are like fan made and stuff like that, like Admiral Cornwell from Star Trek Discovery, and like let's see here. Oh, the Emissary. See, I like that. I like that. See, the cutest of Borg. See, a lot of these cards, like they didn't have them when I was doing it. And I remember Data laughing. That was one of the more frustrating interrupt cards. Ooh, hello. See, Deep Space Nine. See, man, I got out of this game way too early. Yeah. So what happened was I started playing football in high school, and I stopped watching Star Trek, unfortunately. All right, let's see. And like I said, if anybody wants to join and talk about some Star Trek games and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to. The StreamYard link is in the chat. It's also pinned, so come on down. Oh, I think they actually have something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see here. One of the other ones. Let's see here. Here, ECR board game. Yeah, I talked about this last night. One of my neighbors had this fabulous game here. Star Trek: The Next Generation interactive board game. Very interesting. It was cool because it had Robert O'Reilly, who played Chancellor Gowron in the Next Generation. and that's kind of what the game looked like. Wow. God dang, it's been a while since I've seen that. Wow, man. Old school, old school. Damn, that's amazing stuff. I haven't looked at that in a very long time. But yeah, so I mean, I've played a lot of these games, with friends. Like back in the day when you actually have a sleepover at a friend's house and he busts out the Star Trek video or VCR board game. It's always a good time to be had. For me personally, there was a long period of time where I didn't play Star Trek games, and so like it kind of led on to the next one I actually played was Star Trek Online, and I still play that one to this day, and I love it. Let's see, what would it take to fire in the hole on that one until someone comes in to chat? Let's see here. Yeah, one of the other games I downloaded off of Steam was Star Wars: The Old Republic. It doesn't fit the topic for this evening, but definitely a fun game nonetheless. So in the meantime, I'm going to see if Star Trek Online is going to work and do a little gameplay. But yeah, no, I've always been a huge fan of the Star Trek games and stuff like that, just because one of the nostalgia, it brings back so many memories, like good memories of playing, over at my friend's house, or like watching my friend play that Star Trek Starfleet Academy. So I mean, like that game was just so much fun. And let's see here. Wow. Stop the screen. Share the screen. I get in trouble. This is what it is. Oh, hello. I just added it onto Steam. That's cool. Oh, what? You haven't seen it yet? Dude, Lewis. Yeah, I get this last year. It's my favorite Starfleet uniform as well. It's the movies and Deep Space Nine were my two favorite eras as far as Star Trek is concerned. But let's go with my... There we go. And we beam up. Oh, that's right, huh? I got stuck last time I played this and rage quit. So let's go to Ryza. I guess there's a summer thing going down. So let's give it a shot. Beautiful. Collecting some of my dailies. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. All right. So let's open the map. Dang. A lot of systems. All right. We've engaged, of course, to the pleasure planet of Ryza. And looks like I got my first guest.
Hey, old friend,
Welcome.
how you doing?
Mr. Master. I'm doing well, man. Just kind of getting a little nostalgic, talking about some old Star Trek games that I used to play.
Mhm.
Yes, Lewis Cox. There is a Star Trek trading card game. I was just talking about that a few minutes ago. Star Trek: The Next Generation customizable card game. Have you ever played that game before, Ambassador?
Brian, I'm going to be candid with you. I haven't really played any Star Trek games ever in my life.
Oh, okay.
But
I will recommend this one actually. Star Trek Online is pretty good. It's free to play, and it's on all systems. So like,
I've heard of it. I've heard of it, but I've just never really played it because I just don't have the time. Sometimes I just don't have the time. So.
No, totally. I understand. It's hard enough to like watch content. There's just so much stuff to watch out there that I'm behind on. Like right now, I'm doing my run through the Arrowverse. It's not too bad so far. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. Let's see here. We got Eddie on my DS22.
Well,
how are you feeling, Eddie? I hope you're doing good, man. I hope you're doing good.
I hope you're feeling better, Eddie. So,
and then
I saw his video the other day, and he's doing rough, Lewis.
Hey, Lewis, and then we've got Mr. Nicotina. What's happening, man?
Jeez, yes, Nicotina's popping up everywhere.
That's right. I'll be on his watch party tonight at midnight, so that should be fun for Loki episode 5.
I'll be asleep.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. It's like 3 a.m. for you, so I get it.
Yeah. That's a little late, especially since I could be up like at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, I love Loki, but I'll catch you when I get home from work.
That's kind of how I've been this time around. I haven't been staying up till midnight, so this will be a welcome change, I guess is the best way to put it.
But yeah, speaking of Star Trek games, the thing I will say, because I am familiar with many of the games that they did like back in the 90s and so on. I will say this for Star Trek gaming, especially video games, it is a thinking person's game. It's not so much shoot 'em up bang.
Yeah, there's also a lot of strategy involved in those. That's what I like about it. Like one of the games I was talking about earlier before you came on was Starfleet Academy for the Super Nintendo. That was one of the first games I played. And then I de-evolved to a text-based simulator, like where you just like type in the commands back in the day with a floppy disk drive. And oh man, that's what video games were like, kids.
Because I remember where you didn't have graphics, you didn't have images. All you had was push left arrow, push right arrow, push down arrow, push up arrow. Punch D to die of dysentery. Punch B to beam down.
So. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But two of the games I always wish I'd had a chance to play, but I never did get a chance to was the Borg game, the one with they actually shot footage for with John Delancey as Q. I always wish I had gotten a chance to play that one. And another one was like the where you could go through like the Klingon rites of passage and become a Klingon warrior. It had for heaven's sakes, what's his face? Galron on the cover, I think it was.
Yeah, they had one like that, and then the one I talked about earlier is the VCR interactive board game.
Yes, yeah, I remember that one too. I mean, back in the 90s when VCR games were all the rage.
Oh man, it was hell if you lost your remote. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, that sucked. Like I can't do anything.
Right?
Like, darn it!
Your hands get really tied on that one. Star Trek Conquest. I know. I was going through some like history stuff on YouTube about some of the games and stuff. There are so many games that I did not play, like for Star Trek, like like a decade's worth. I just kind of like missed the 2000s entirely. I was just like, oh wow, and that's where like they came out with some of their best stuff that I would have been like over the moon about. So
Oh yeah. Well, one of the ones I wish I had gotten, another one that I wish I had gotten a chance to play was like the shipbuilders or the fleet builder games, because I loved stuff like that.
I always
And
used to
and
draw
the
like
sim.
pictures of starships when I was a kid. Like
Mhm.
that was my thing. I was like, yes, this is my ship right here. It's awesome.
And now you've got guys online who are doing like 3D renders of all sorts of stuff, and it's beautiful. I mean,
Oh yeah, and it looks better than
It's-
what they came up with like back in the day for the computer generated stuff. Like
yeah, totally.
like the remastered Dominion War scene that they did. Like
Mhm.
it wasn't Paramount that did it. It was like a side company that remastered it for them.
Mhm.
And oh my goodness, it looks so nice. Like it just leaps and bounds beyond. Like I really wish I had some friends when I lived in Sacramento that were like learning how to do that kind of stuff, and I wish I'd have just stuck it out a little bit longer down there, and I think things would have been different. But like it's good to have friends like that.
It is, yeah. And hey, Lewis Cox, yeah, I think that was the one I was actually talking about with Star Trek Armada, where you could build your own free fleets. And I think you could do it for all sorts, for like the three main powers, like the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans. I'll tell you this much: nothing is more terrifying than seeing a D. Daradex Romulan warbird,
Oh man.
like, and then you're like, there's three of them. You're like, good thing I wore the brown pants today.
Yeah, right.
I would imagine even Picard would be like, number one,
Yeah,
We'll
we're a
get
little
my-
we're a little scared now.
number one, go get me my brown pants. And
Aye,
Riker would
Captain.
be like, Captain, I'm going to need my own brown pants.
Right?
Even Data is going, I don't need brown pants, but I need white pants because something's about to excrete from my ass. It's white.
This is the Romulan warbird that he's referring to, and yes,
I won't lie. I love the design of that ship.
it is one of the prettiest in all of Star Trek.
It's it's so pretty, and yet it's so freaking terrifying.
Yeah, let's see here. Quantum torpedoes and a cloaking device. That's all I gotta say. And a quantum singularity drive. Like we're talking miniature black hole in that sumbitch. Like
Yeah. And you get to control a whole fleet of them. I mean, it was like, okay, I know I don't want to jump make a big jump off of genre, but it's like when you would play like one of the Star Wars, like Star Wars Empire at War, and you could build your own fleets, and you were like, I'm just going to build nothing but Star Destroyers and crush everything in my path. And then you realize, this may not have been the best idea. Maybe I should build some frigates and stuff to support. But still, nothing but Star Destroyers, Star Destroyers, Star Destroyers, Star Destroyers.
oh man! And speaking of which, I just got on Steam. I just downloaded Old Republic 2. The Sith Lords. So
Oh,
yeah.
dude, you're
Yeah.
killing me.
yeah, so I'm a little ways into that one. Yeah, no, I agree, Lewis. Like that's one of my favorites. As far as Starfleet ships are concerned, I will pull up a picture of my baby.
I would have to say my favorite Starfleet or Federation ship, and I'm going to be old school, Khan Noonien Singh ship.
Oh yeah, the Miranda class. That's always
Yeah.
nice.
That for me is like I mean, okay, now if you put like quantum torpedoes and an upgraded warp drive on that mother, or warp nacelles on that mother, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there she is.
Oh, the Sovereign class, yeah.
Yep.
And
I fell in love when I saw it in Star Trek First Contact. I was like, oh,
how can you not? It's beautiful. It's angular. It's sleek. That is a beautiful ship. I mean, just out of curiosity, do you know did they do any games where you can actually control one of those things?
Why yes. Let's see, Star Trek Legacies on the 360 did that.
Oh, okay. I've heard of
And
it, but I never played it.
It's a fun game. You kind of start off with the Archer era, and you go through all the way all the captains,
Oh wow!
And
Cool.
like Scott Bakula gives voice performance in it.
Really
Yeah, so it's like
nice.
it's really good. I really like that game, and I like the
Mhm.
NX-01 too. The NX-01 was a really good little ship. I like that one.
That was the ship they used for Enterprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the.
I did like the design. I did like the design of the one from Enterprise. I mean, it was clunky. It wasn't as smooth as what we normally would build, but it was still cool looking.
Oh, and not only that, but I like how like when they were looking out like models, potential models for the ship on the inside and
Mhm.
stuff, they looked at nuclear subs.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, so like
I love the design of that ship. I do. I
Mhm.
absolutely love the design of that ship. I especially love it when you see it in the Mirrorverse episodes where for Enterprise.
yeah, the Terran Alliance or whatever.
Oh, the Terran Empire.
Yeah, the Empire. Oh my goodness! Like, yes, I love those, especially when they come up on the Constitution class.
Oh
ship.
yeah. Yeah, I always loved the Mirrorverse concept for Star Trek. I love the
heck
fact that
yeah.
you see. I love the fact that you see it all the way from the original series all the way through Deep Space Nine, but you never see it in Voyager. There was never a Mirrorverse episode in Voyager.
You know that. I wonder why that is.
Now, here's the thing: they did do a sort of Mirrorverse, but it was from an alien racist perspective of the Voyager crew, and it was somewhat like the how they would behave in the Mirrorverse, but it wasn't. It was not Mirrorverse.
Yeah, I remember that. See that's I gotta go back through and watch from Voyager. And yes, Lewis Cox. This is I agree. This is one of the best looking ships in all of sci-fi right there. The toughest of the little ships. The Defiant.
Well, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you. There is a small ship that was almost as cool as that one, but it was the White Star from Babylon 5.
Man, Babylon 5.
Hey, I can't help it.
No, I think that's great though, because it's like
Yeah,
those two shows were like compared like ad nauseum. So it's like I could see it. I can really see it.
There was no Mirrorverse episode in TNG at all.
That's
right. There wasn't.
They had Future Enterprise, but that wasn't you. I wouldn't consider that necessarily
part of
the mirror
yesterday's
universe.
Enterprise.
Yesterday's Enterprise, yeah.
Yeah, because the thing was that was just because Tasha Yar still existed, and she wasn't supposed to.
Mm-hmm. She was a variant
to
be pruned. And Guinan was part of the TVA in that episode. It all makes sense now.
I don't want to get off on a big tangent, but I haven't had a chance to talk to you in a while. What have you thought of Loki so far?
So far, I'm really digging Loki. I think episode 3 was kind of slow, but after it's one of those things like when you watch the episode, it's like, oh yeah, it feels like a filler at the time, but then like the next one is like, oh, okay.
Episode 4 was really, really good, especially with that post credit scene.
Oh yeah, no, dude, Richard E. Grant, like, dude, sign me up. I'm there, and I want to issue a correction. I said that was Laura Santeca. No, it was the general or the admiral from Rise of Skywalker. I forgot what his name was, but he was in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, Admiral Pride.
Pride. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, who was in the one Loki costume? Yeah, I recognized him. Also,
see, there you go.
Yeah, I know, Lewis. I know.
You got another Babylon 5er?
Hey, there's a lot more of us than you think. May not
no,
be
this is true. I couldn't get through. I was watching like the first couple episodes on HBO Max, so it's just one of those shows I have to devote some time to.
Well, if you ever get your subscription back up and you decide to watch it, I really encourage you to. I think you didn't. If you love Star Trek, which I know you love Star Trek, I think you would. I think there are differences between B5 and Star Trek for sure, most definitely. But there's a lot in there that is similar. There is a lot of philosophical discussion and moral discussion and so on. So I think you would honestly enjoy B5. And that's me saying as a hardcore, not just saying as a hardcore fan, but someone who knows knows you and knows how much you love good sci-fi. So
This is true. No, I will have to give it a chance. Oh yeah, same thing with the Bad Batch. That's another one that I'm really digging as well.
I kind of, after like the 4th episode or 5th episode, I just kind of got bored with Bad Batch. I've been watching it just to say I've watched it, but honestly, I'm at the point I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a cookie cutter less in-depth version of Mandalorian.
No, fair enough. No, it's for me. I dig it a lot just because I'm interested in finding out what that transitionary period's like. You know, the transition from Republic to Empire, you know, and how they handled their military. I think that's really interesting.
I did watch the episode that came out Friday, and they had me on that aspect, but they got away from that aspect for too long, and now I'm just not interested. I mean, I don't hate it. Don't misunderstand me. I don't hate the show. It got repetitive and it got boring, and I got to the point where I just didn't care. So, but I don't want to get us off on a big Star Trek or Star Wars thing. I know you're talking about this.
No big deal, man. I like it. So, I let the show flow.
I know. Well, I'm probably going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about not Bad Batch, but Loki this weekend or anything over my neck of the woods. So
nice.
There should be a new Star Wars pod racer game. Where is the EA? Where is the game? Lewis, the problem is EA, I think, is going to be losing the license before too long with Star Wars, unless they really start pumping out some bangers. And
yeah, they've fallen behind in their output tremendously.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I know part of it's due to COVID. I get that, but you know, I will say I've been playing a lot of Battlefront 2 online, and I did play through the story, and I won't lie, I have enjoyed. I mean, I oftentimes get my butt kicked, but there are days where I have
it's a fun game.
Yeah, you die a million times, but you enjoy yourself.
This is true. I love playing Capital Supremacy. It's so much fun.
Same here. I mean, I love Supremacy, and I love the Starfire combat, but oftentimes I get my ass handed in the Starfire combat.
Yeah, it's disorienting is what word I would use. It's like you get in it and you're just like, okay, where in the hell? Okay, got it now. And boom, dead.
Yeah, essentially.
Or you crash into a ship or some debris and you're just like dead. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Back to square one.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you die. I've actually gotten up to level 102 for the heavy trooper.
Wow. I use the specialist a lot. I'm pretty decent with the sniper.
I used to be really good with sniper. I'd have to get more acclimated to how the sniper functions for the game and everything. I used to love sniper on the old Battlefront 2 and everything for the Xbox. So, but yeah, the sniper on this one is a little trickier. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm old.
No, I get you, man. It's really fast paced.
Yeah, you've got to have like razor sharp reflexes. You've got to be on top of it, or somebody's going to take you out. I have reached level 42 on the Assault Trooper.
I like Assault Trooper.
Yeah. And that dude, Vince.
Hey, buddy, what's happening? No, you didn't miss much, man. Just shooting the breeze here, talking a little bit of video game action. Star Trek, Star Wars, don't matter, man. We're just having a good time. But yeah, I did get my Star Trek Online patched, and I'll add you as soon as I can there, Vince. Sorry about that. It's so hard to get time to even play games sometimes. So it's like, oh man, between work and then doing this, it's like not a whole lot of free time in between.
Well, I mean,
Me too.
Yeah, I've been playing Star Trek off and on since 2010.
2010. Yep. That's when I bought the game, was 2010. You actually had to pay for it then. Ooh, this is a fun game. Have you had a chance to play this one yet?
I actually have the game. I got the digital version. I love this game. I haven't played it in a little bit, but I played it through twice, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will say the combat is hard.
Yeah, no, I feel like
it's hella hard,
especially if you're basing it off of like what's the other game, Force Unleashed kind of stuff. Yeah, the combat's a lot different, but it took me a hot minute, but I just force pull people to me and run them through. That's basically
I've done the same thing myself. I mean, I will say it's been nice to have a game like Fallen Order. I just hope they do a follow-up. So
from what I understand, that's what's going to happen.
Of course, first I've got to get a PS5, and those are hard as hell right now to get.
Dude, it's over 10 years old, but I think it started in 2009. So yeah, it's a 12-year-old game.
And you know, the crazy thing is it's still going, but unfortunately Star Wars Online is no longer going, which is kind of sad.
It is, but they're not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could play it, but they're not adding anything to it, which is kind of lame.
Yeah, lame sauce.
Yeah,
where you got people still adding stuff to Skyrim, for heaven's sake.
True. No, the thing I like about Star Trek is they get a lot of the old actors to come back and do voice work for the new storylines that they put in. Like right now, they have the House Divided storyline going on right now, where they brought back Robert O'Reilly, who's Gowron, and
oh, cool.
Yeah, they brought back Michael Dorn again to do voice for Worf, of course. And I love the new storylines in the game. It's good because it takes place 20 years after Nemesis. So like, it actually like continues a lot of the quote unquote canon storyline forward for a lot of us that didn't have that. You know, for me, I wanted the Next Generation era. I love it. Like, keep your original series, you know, where it belongs in the original series. Oh, yeah. Current business model is being ran by former mobile. Oh, no, that makes a lot of sense because that's why there's so many damn lock boxes in the game now. It's stupid. I hate lock boxes, man.
I hear you. You know, I've got like not to switch over again, but I've got like 200,000 credits on Battlefront. I've got like 40 shards or whatever they're called, and I don't know how the hell to use them.
I think you got to go in. It's mostly for buying like different character skins and stuff like that. So like if you go to like Luke Skywalker, you can get his Hoth uniform. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha. It's mostly for cosmetic stuff. Well,
yeah, you just go into like your career mode. The other is for like the other points are for just like upping your skills and stuff at that point.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, you know, it's hard to believe, you know, as somebody who grew up before all this online stuff, to see what we can do nowadays with these universes that we love, particularly Star Trek. You know, you're playing online right now, and it's 20 years into the future of the TNG timeline, and we're not getting that story in any show, well, except for maybe Picard, and I haven't had a chance to watch Picard again. I'm not going to pay another.
It's still out there, and yeah, I understand about the extra services.
Yeah, so I am intrigued when they dropped the trailers and then they hinted that Q was coming back. I was like, Oh, you're going right for the you're
Going for the heart.
right
Go.
you're going right for the nostalgia because I love John Delancey as Q.
Well, and then
Dude,
like everybody, well, he doesn't age. It's like, dude, he's cute. He could be whatever age he wants to be.
Exactly. And everybody's like,
let's
why
do
is
this,
Q old
man.
now?
Yeah. No. Well, because John Delancey's old.
Yeah. I mean, they technically speaking, they could de-age him digitally or whatever, but I'm glad that they're kind of playing around with it. Like, Jean-Luc, you got old.
Yeah, and so did you. You know what I mean? Like that's what I
Yeah,
love
but
about
you're
it.
still immortal, so you'll never die. You're like Christopher Lee. And there was that fan theory out there when Christopher Lee died, people were like, "No, he didn't die. He just went into hibernation for 100 years. He'll come back all rejuvenated and ready to go."
It's true. This is true. You just watch out.
So, just out of curiosity, aside from the board game, does Q ever make an appearance in the MMO?
No, it's the well in Star Trek Online, yes, he does.
That's what
he
I meant,
does.
online.
He does events and stuff like that with more lock boxes. So
Gotcha.
yeah, it's they're not too bad. I always like the Q events. Those are always fun. It's
Well, yeah,
usually
of course, because it's
around, like,
Q.
well, it's like first contact day. He'll show up and send you back to Bozeman, Montana, and you do like missions in Bozeman, and then like wintertime, he sends you to the Q's Winter Wonderland.
Oh,
Yeah, he does it for the winter event
Cool.
every year.
That's cool. I mean, when you've got somebody like John Delancey who's willing to work with the community and he accepts as part of the community, I really appreciate that, because Q is one of those characters. They back in the day, I think it was like in the early aughts or the late 90s or whatever, they were doing the box sets of the DVDs, and they would do like just all the Q episodes or all the Borg episodes or all the time travel episodes. I was like, I'm so tempted to get the
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 Q
Q.
episodes are some of the best ones. I mean,
not to mention you get the series premiere
and the finale.
Because that was one great thing that they did with the series. They tied it together so well. I mean, and I love what Q said to Picard in the series finale. You're not out here charting stars and mapping nebula. You're exploring the potential of the human experience.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it was the best. It was the best season finale or series finale.
I have to agree.
For pretty much a lot of the shows I've watched personally, like there was no better way to end that.
Well, this was the first time that Star Trek. I mean, I know there have been a couple of channels out there like Lore Reloaded, who did a video talking about the character Trelane, I think his name was, saying that Trelane was the first Q to appear in Star Trek. And I haven't watched that video, but I am familiar a little bit with the character of Trelane. So I'm thinking, maybe he's right.
Well, it could be because the original series did touch on some like god beings with godlike abilities, so
yeah,
it wouldn't be too much out of the realm of possibilities for them to kind of like retcon it into the fact that Dew was Q.
Yeah,
well, I like how Voyager handled Q, to be honest. Like the Civil War episode where it was kind of like what's that movie? Gone with the Wind. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that, and then like how Q's procreated, and then it gave us Q's son, who was played by John Delancey's son. So like that was that was really cool. That episode of Voyager where young Q comes along and wreaks havoc on the ship. But that was one of the last episodes I think Q was involved in, to be honest.
Because obviously he would have never appeared at Enterprise.
No, and then Deep Space Nine, I guess the chemistry wasn't there.
Yeah, they only did I think 1 or 2 episodes with Q on DS9.
One episode.
Was it only 1 episode?
Just the one, and it was during the first season too. So it was like
Yeah.
one of those grab the attention. It's like, hey guys, this is Star Trek 2.
Yeah,
Because that
except
was
it
the
was
big thing back then. Nobody liked it because it wasn't starships out there exploring the cosmos. It was all based on a station, you know. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude, Death Wish, the one with the and see, and that was one of the things that I loved about Star Trek is they handled concepts. So like that was right around the time with like Dr. Kevorkian and assisted
Mhm.
suicide and stuff like that, and how
Yeah.
they handled that with the Q that wanted to end his own life. Like,
Mhm.
damn, dude. And yeah, that was how Vosh kept coming. Vosh showed up on DS9.
Yeah, I remember that. I like the character of Vosh, and I like the fact that they had kind of an on again, off again thing with Picard. The one thing I was kind of bummed out about with All Good Things was the fact that Picard and Beverly, or Jean-Luc and Beverly, ended up divorced. I'm like, that just
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah, no, exactly, and this is like one of my other like critiques of Picard is that there's certain characters that they could have written into the show, and it wouldn't have seemed forced, you know. And I think Beverly Crusher is one of those.
Yeah, I agree. Of course, of course they would have to get Gates McFadden to come back. So then the question is, would she even want to? I mean, I know she's not that old.
I'm sure she would because they still do the convention circuit, like every last one of them. So I mean, like,
yeah,
and they're all still good friends. So I mean, Q List, that was the name of the episode. Do you see?
Yeah.
I love it, man. Lewis Cox, you're the man, buddy.
Lewis Cox, good. Yeah, if they were going to do a game, I kind of wish they had done a game centered around Deep Space Nine, because that would have been kind of neat. That would have been fun.
They did have one for the Super Nintendo, but it wasn't very good. No.
I think if they had done one centered around the Dominion War, that would have been a lot of fun. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, the closest they came is there's an story arc on Star Trek Online that involves, the wormhole, the Temple of the Prophets. You actually can go down to Bajor, stuff like that. So those missions are kind of fun. I like the Deep Space Nine missions on that game. And it's right around the time where you become captain in the game too, so you can get down with your bad self and have the option of either the Intrepid class, which is Voyager, Galaxy class, which is the Enterprise D, and my favorite little escort vessel, the Defiant.
I'd have to say, if I was going to pick one, I'd want like the retrofitted Enterprise D from like All Good Things.
That's an Admiral tier ship, but yeah, they have it on there. It's awesome.
I would, the weaponry alone, not to mention the design of it, is just, yes, I know it has 3 warp nacelles. That makes no sense. I don't care. I love the design of the ship. Shut up, leave me alone. Let me play.
Well, it's how they power the dorsal laser. So yeah, that's a very powerful piece when you get it charged up.
I can imagine. Well, you saw what it did to that Vorcha class Klingon ship.
Boom! Shot holes right through it 3-4 times. Yeah, see that I have that ship. I bought it. Well, see, I bought it a long time ago when like paying for credits actually got you stuff. Like it doesn't do that now. Like you could drop like $20-$30 and not get anything. That's why I agree. I agree with Vince on this one, dude. Like, yeah, no, the whole DLC for it is so whack. So bad.
Now, I want to ask you just a little kind of off the cuff question, a little bit off topic. If they were ever to do like an MCU online game, like kind of in the same vein as Star Trek, would you play it?
Yes, I would, especially if it's in the same vein as DC Universe Online, which is I don't know if you've played that one, but
I've heard of it. I've played it a little bit, but I haven't played it in a long time.
But if we can get that going, Like I'd be totally behind that, like instantly.
Yeah, because think about it. If it was set in the multiverse, holy freaking crap.
Oh yeah, dude.
That they would be like Fry from Futurama. Here's my money, take it now.
Exactamundo. Let's see here.
So
Oh yeah, dude. It's a fun game. DC Universe Online. I like it. I got a couple characters that are. I like Superman, so like I have the Superman powers.
if I was going to play as any character from the DC, and no, it's not going to be who you think, I'd want to play as a villain, and I'd want to play as Vandal Savage.
There you go.
I just love that character. I do. I love Vandal Savage. I wish they would use him in more stuff. I mean, they did one animated movie called Justice League Doom.
Yeah,
And
I've seen
I
that
think-
one. That's pretty good.
Oh man, that one is really good. And
Ooh.
they used him. I think somebody mentioned it once on a stream you were on or wherever. They used it in Young Justice. I think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, me too, bud. Me
Don't
too.
get me started.
Well, if we could get a decent Star Wars MMO that is cross-platform, that can actually you could play it on a
Yeah.
console now, like I would be so down for that.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
like a Superman Star Trek. I don't know how that would work.
I saw some. I honestly, let's see. I was looking through, and there's actually a game, or sorry, a story with the X-Men.
For Star Trek?
Star Trek: The Next Generation meets the X-Men. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
what?
Huh, that's a
Interesting.
new one. That's a new one.
Yeah,
Well, I did
Planet
once-
X, I think, or something like that. Yeah,
Meanwhile, on Planet X,
Dot. Oh, there you go. Just dress Q up as
Just
Superman.
Q Superman. That would work.
Pretty, more or less.
Hmm.
Either added like a John Constantine kind of magical, mystical type situation.
No, better. Dress Q as Darkseid.
There you go.
Now
Just
there
straight
is
up Omega beam
there-
the hell out of him. Oh,
That-
yeah, that would be kind
that
of
doesn't
interesting too.
surprise me. There's this is way back. They did a crossover comic series between Doctor Who and Star Trek.
Yeah, I knew about that.
Did you?
that-
they
yeah,
were
'cause
dealing with the Borg and Cybermen.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting too. Like I like
Yep.
that kind of crossover I'm down with. But the only one I would consider sacrilege is if they took it to a galaxy far, far away. That would be my only like line in the sand, unforgivable
Mhm.
thing. So keep your hands off Star Trek, Disney. It's not yours. And
Or say the Q knows of Darkseid. Yeah, Q would be like, okay, this would be one of the most one-sided fights in the history of forever. Because let's be honest,
he would just snap
Dark-
him out of existence.
Darkseid wouldn't stand a chance in hell.
No.
Sorry
Just
to break it to all the DC. Sorry to break it to all the DC fanboys, but Darkseid is not beating Q.
No. Sorry, it's not happening.
Oh, you have a Mako beams. That's cute. Here, I'm just going to go. Bye. Advances. Like,
Yes, it's true though. Like there's still I can understand a lot of the animosity with what CBS / Star Trek has done, or proper. The thing with the whole separation issue, which kind of gave us the Kelvin universe. That's kind of where it started for a lot of this, and then. Was it second season of Discovery? They actually got the rights to where they could use stuff.
Honestly, I just recently picked up the 3 JJ Star Trek movies. I did like the first one. I finally watched Into Darkness, and I have not watched Beyond, but I'm going to now that I have it on Blu-ray.
Beyond's not that bad. I
That's what I've
enjoyed
heard.
it. It's the most Star Trek out of the three, I think.
Mhm.
And I think that has a lot to do with Simon Pegg being the writer. And yeah,
Oh yeah,
I agree, Vince. I like 2009 a lot. It really kind of churned up Star Trek, which was a dead franchise at the time. So like,
pretty much. I mean, okay. I'm going to say this. I did like Nemesis. I did enjoy.
I liked Nemesis quite a bit, man. I didn't
I
hate.
actually like the fact that they went that extreme. They went that hardcore. I know a lot of people groan at this. I like Tom Hardy as Shinzon. I like Tom Hardy in general as an actor. I think he
See,
was good in it.
and furthermore, I think they should have recast Picard with Tom Hardy.
Maybe they should have.
Yeah, give us a younger Picard. Like
Yeah.
that would work. I'd be all right with that.
Okay, Willis Cox is Beyond. This is not awful. 9 is okay, but Into Darkness, sorry, it's crap. Eh?
No, I agree. The thing is that there's certain things about Star Trek that I'm not going to try to sound like a stodgy old Star Trek fanboy, but this is like the one time you'll actually catch me doing it. There's one sacred movie in all of Star Trek, and you do not mess with. You don't mess with it. You could tinker with the formula like they did in Star Trek Nemesis, because it was very similar. The sacrifice
in certain ways, yes, I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, no. See, and that's what sucks about. Yeah, exactly. It was like a 2-part episode. It was the same with Insurrection, and yeah, especially Generations. Generations. I'm not gonna lie. It was like one of my first Star Trek movies that I watched because I got into it at that time. So
I'll tell you my first in theater Star Trek movie. Final Frontier.
Oh wow. It's okay. When I was in Yosemite, they have those Go Climb a Rock shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So I took pictures of them. I was like, yes, only my Star Trek fans will get this. Haha.
You know,
I mean, I could have done without the Argo. Like, First Contact was actually my first theater experience. That's why it has such a special place in my heart.
I did see Generations in theaters. I saw from Final Frontier up until Nemesis. I had seen, well, no, because I actually saw 09 in theaters too. So those are all the ones I saw in theaters because I wasn't alive or I was too young to see the TOS ones in theaters at the time. But I saw them all on VHS, watched them over and over and over and over and over, and now we finally we have all the TOS on DVD. So.
Well, one of my favorite places to travel is San Francisco. So, like, naturally, the first thing I do before I travel there is watch Star Trek 4. So I get acclimated and I know where the nuclear vessels are.
And okay, hey, you have to make sure you use lots of colorful metaphors.
This is true. Double dumbass on you and such.
The hell they are your whales.
Yeah, right. Gracie.
I'm sorry. I think he did a little too much LDS.
Yeah, right. LDS. He was a Mormon.
Vince is like First Contact and Voyage Home. I could watch every day and not get bored.
Yeah.
Vince, for me, it goes Wrath of Khan, Voyage Home, and I would say, yeah, definitely First Contact.
You gotta squeeze in like my guilty pleasure favorite, Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
Oh, like, dude, that's not a guilty pleasure. That's one of the best ones. What are you talking about?
It just kind of knifes its way into my top 3.
Dude,
it hovers between 2 and 3, but oh my gosh,
that is not a guilty pleasure. That is Star Trek done right. Not to mention you have one of the greatest underappreciated Okay, not only Christopher Butler, but C. Morgan Shepard as the Klingon warden on Rua Penthe.
Oh yeah.
Do not even get me started on that guy. I love that guy as an actor. He was in a TV movie put out by TNT. It was actually financed by Ted Turner called Gettysburg. He played the Confederate general, and he was in this. He had a scene with Martin Sheen as Robert E. Lee, and that scene he just absolutely owns it. I mean, him and Sheen, they had great chemistry. And it was just, the guy is a great actor, and I love. He's quirky, he's funny, he can be serious. He even has an episode, I think, in like one of the first couple of seasons of, for heaven's sake, of Next Generation, where he plays a scientist who learns how to transfer a human consciousness into a positronic brain, and he actually takes over. Data. The episode's called It's called the Schizoid Man.
Oh,
the Schizoid
okay,
Man,
yeah.
I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That was a long time
Now, I
ago.
know that's a deep cut. That's like a super deep cut. But he was a really good, lesser known. Like he was like a character actor, kind of like that dude. Yeah, Gaze. Yeah, I actually have
Gettysburg.
both. I have Gettysburg and I have Gods and Generals, and I watch them every so often because, well, Gettysburg is 4 hours, I think, 3 or 4 hours.
Okay, Lewis. Next time I take acid, I'm gonna watch this movie.
I'd say the motion picture is good. Sorry, yes, it is. I'm slow, so good. It's slow. I'm so good for me.
You know, honestly, the kaleidoscope thing where you go in where Spock.
Oh, they go into V'ger. Oh yeah.
So I mean, oh man, I just imagine some hallucinogenics. That movie would be amazing. Like just on another level. Gettysburg was a good show. I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen it.
You can get it, I think for cheap on DVD. I've actually found it like secondhand
Those awful looking.
Oh, don't get me started on the uniforms on the motion picture. Don't.
They look like pajamas.
No, the best uniforms for the original series movies was from 2 onward.
Oh, that's all thanks to Mr. Harv Bennett. Thank you, Harv Bennett. Thank you,
Harv
Nicholas
Bennett,
Meyer.
we love you.
Thank you for saving Star Trek and for continuing things on. Yeah, no, those were terrible. Those were terrible. And yes, by right, they got rid of Gene Roddenberry. Sorry, Star Trek purists, but some of the best Star Trek out there is
not by Gene Roddenberry.
Sans Gene Roddenberry. So
yeah, and Vince, I've actually seen Andersonville, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, that's another really good TV movie that they did. They did one other TV movie. It was like by Turner, and also starred Tom Berenger, but it was called The Rough Riders. And it was about Teddy Roosevelt and Spanish American War, and Berenger played a young Teddy Roosevelt, and he was glorious. I am like the biggest like Teddy Roosevelt fanboy you will ever meet. He is like my all-time favorite old school president. He was
he embodied the American experience.
Oh, he did. He so did. I've got to find that TV movie on DVD or something because I love Rough Riders. My mom has a copy of it on VHS, and I haven't watched it in years. Yeah, Tom Berenger. I remember most playing the catcher in Major League.
Jake Taylor.
Yep. Oh, don't give me.
That's a movie for a watch party right there. Like,
yes,
the original Major League. Like, who does not?
I remember
the
you got Charlie Sheen.
Wesley Snipes.
That's right.
Willie Mays Hayes. Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah, in his days before he played Blade.
Mm-hmm. That was before Simon Phoenix.
Oh, that's another good one to do.
I just watched that. I watched that 2 nights ago. It's on HBO Max. It's on HBO Max.
I have it on DVD. I could do you one better.
Yeah, no, I love Demolition Man. Like,
Oh, I remember
love
seeing
that
Demolition.
movie.
I remember seeing Demolition Man in theaters. Me and my mother and Bastard went and saw it when it came out, and we were like, "That was hella fun." Okay, I'm just gonna say this, and no, I'm not bragging on my mom, although I sort of am.
Dude, I love this movie. Major League 3 Back to the Minors, dude. Yeah, it brought back.
Since it stars Captain Archer, Scott Bakula.
Well, Scott Bakula's in it, but it also brought back, Pedro Serrano, who's the guy who does those insurance commercials.
Oh yeah.
Allstate.
I know who you're talking about. Yep.
I was like, wow, that's him. Holy crap! And then Taka Tanaka. Like, oh man,
I never saw the third one, but I saw the second one.
The third one's really good. The third one's really good.
I'll tell you another good underappreciated sequel. Airplane 2, the sequel. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. That movie was great.
He's got a bomb.
Ooh.
And it's Sonny Bono. Freaking Sonny Bono. I think after his divorce from Cher's.
Yeah, no, I agree. A DS9 movie would be something I would be really, really interested in seeing, and I really hope they can bring back some form of Deep Space Nine in the new shows. I would really be happy.
Give them time;
really,
they might. I mean, Avery Brooks is not that old.
Well, from what I understand, Avery Brooks has kind of turned into a bit of a recluse.
Oh, has he?
He hasn't been doing the convention. He's like one of the few that hasn't been being public. I think he's a teacher of some kind, a drama teacher.
Hey, you know what? That's good though. I mean, as long as he's still doing, hey, good. Well, the crazy thing is, I remember he was on a like an 80s
Spencer for Hire.
Yes, dude.
Yeah,
yes.
He was
Robert.
He was Hawk. He was Hawk.
Yeah, he was Hawk. The Robert Irving, I think, was the actor's name.
Robert Urich.
Robert Urich. That's it. Yeah, Robert Urich. That's it. Yeah, he played Spencer. Yeah, Hawk.
I remember it was a show that he was on. Like Robert Urich was like the master of the afternoon shows. I called them like the ones on Saturday afternoon, like after the sporting event was over. Like,
or if there wasn't a sporting event.
Yeah, it was your syndicated show or TV or movie show. It was called Lazarus. It was like he was like
I remember that show. Yes, I remember that. I love that show. Had a really good opening.
Lazarus. Well, and then like some of those other shows, like was it like Nightman or something like that? Where it's like during the day he drives a sweet Plymouth Prowler, and at night he plays saxophone. God dang it! I forgot the name of that show, but it was like Nighthawk or something like that. It was one of those ones like VIP with a what's her face?
Pamela Anderson.
Valerie Irons Protection. Oh man. Earth Final Conflict. That was a deep cut for you.
Yeah,
I watched the first season of that show.
I watched the whole thing. I loved it because they had Larry Nimoy.
Mm-hmm. It was Gene Roddenberry's son did the executive producing.
Yeah,
of the show.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Then of course you had Andromeda, which was basically just the skeleton of Star Trek, essentially. And the ship was like a skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Let's see.
The Phil Enterprise.
Yeah. Well, see, I think we would have got more of that if we would have got more seasons of the show. I think they were gearing up for that. And since it got canceled, it just
yeah.
Thank you for stopping by. Wow.
Hey. That was the sad thing about Enterprise, because it wasn't hitting like some of the other Star Trek shows were, and unfortunately, they just didn't have the budget anymore to keep the show going. So it just Star Trek TV died off for a long time until we got Discovery, and love it or hate it. I mean, like I said,
it's Star Trek, man. I can't complain too much.
Well,
it's better than nothing, I suppose.
Well, as much as I like Star Trek, I'm not as hardcore as others are. I do appreciate it, and there are certain aspects of Star Trek that I really enjoy, but I will always be a Star Wars fanboy. It's not that I hate.
No,
It's not,
oh no, I totally understand, and it kind of ties into this here, where it's like
Mhm.
Enterprise suffered from every new iteration of Star Trek TV does, the insufferable fan
insufferable.
base. So
Yeah,
true. You could go from Next Generation. Oh, it's not Kirk. Deep Space Nine. Oh, it's not Picard. Janeway. Oh, it's a lady captain. Oh, it's not Picard or Cisco.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I honestly, I liked. I didn't watch Voyager all the way through, but I watched a good chunk of it, and I liked Janeway. I thought she was a good captain. I thought she was getting her feet under her as an actress. Diane Mulgrew,
Kate Mulgrew.
Kate Mulgrew. Thank you.
Yeah, Diana
She was-
Muldaur was she was
Oh,
the
yeah,
doctor from season
Pulaski.
2.
Yeah, Pulaski. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I liked what they were trying to do with her, and she was getting her feet under her, and with the character, and there were aspects of Voyager that I really enjoyed. I didn't have a problem that it was a woman captain. I mean, for crying out loud, there were times when Uhura or for TOS would act as captain or a commanding officer. You would have instances in Next Generation where Troy or Crusher would act as a commanding officer. So why the hell not have a female captain?
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean-
absolutely. And not only that, but it was the way the show was leaning at the time. No, I think what really kind of
Right,
ruined
Tim.
it was after the fourth season when they brought in Jerry Ryan. I guess there was a lot of backstage tension between Jerry Ryan and Kate Mulgrew.
I never kept up on the whole if there was off-screen drama or whatever with the cast or whatever. I mean, I guess I could kind of understand that because, well, they were trying to play up the sexy with Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9. I mean, okay, she was.
Well, yeah, I mean, then that's kind of how it is there. I mean, it's right. Well, then that was the whole thing, and in the 90s, they were way ahead of the curve as far as like dealing with what we would call woke today. Like they did it then.
I'm just going to say that there is no such thing as woke. There's just the evolution of pop culture.
Yeah, more or less.
I've been wanting to do a stream or a video talking about this because pop culture has existed long before you and I were even alive. I mean,
of course. I mean,
existed.
Roman times, like we
Yeah,
can go back
exactly.
further. Cave
Yeah, you can-
paintings.
I mean, you look at early mythology, like the great the really well-known civilizations. Everybody had their favorite god. Well,
Mhm.
Anubis could kick the ever-loving snot out of Ra. Well, Ra can blast Anubis with his eye beam. I mean,
That's
think
right.
about it. It has simply evolved from the pantheons of Egypt and Greece and Rome and every other major civilization in the history of the world to, well, Darth Vader could kick the snot out, kick the crap out of Data.
Well, it's the whole like, the Enterprise versus a Star Destroyer. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, and let's be candid. We all know what would win. With all due respect, my friend. We all know
Star
that-
Destroyer would win.
Yes.
They're actually meant for battle.
Well,
starships
I
aren't.
will. I will say this, and this is something that other people have said in streams that you and I have been on, or I've been on, or whatever I've listened to. The Federation should have had a more dedicated military.
Oh, absolutely. That was Gene.
That was
Roddenberry, though.
that was one of
That
the
was-
stupidest things. You're gonna be out in space, and you expect everybody just to get along.
Yeah, it's all hugs and rainbows. It might be that way in
Bull
the Federation, but not with the Klingons.
No,
Not with the-
Klingons are going to be like, we find you weak, ergo we are going to come and kick the ever-living crap out of you for many years, and then you're finally going to just somehow beat us.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could agree. Jerry Ryan was hot back then. No, I'm just kidding. She
I've seen
turned into
pictures
one of the. She's not
Go
bad. She was in Picard, and that wasn't bad
Yeah,
at
I
all.
know.
7, but no, she's also one of those squawkers on social media
I got you. Yeah. I hear
that
you.
in the vein of Luke Skywalker. So
I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
I love you, but shut up.
Do us all a favor and take the advice of a great actress / entertainer / singer, Dolly Parton. I'm here to entertain, not give my political or social opinion.
Thank you. I wish more people would heed that advice. Let's see. Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I stopped watching Voyager around the 6th season. It was just I wasn't that into it anymore. And by that time, I was in high school. I was doing my youth group thing, so it was occupying most of my time between that and football and all that kind of stuff. So like the last couple seasons of Voyager, I didn't actually watch.
Vince, Gene could build a universe, but couldn't write for shit. Same with George Lucas. Yeah, Vince, you're not wrong there.
He could write good. It was just the time that he did his last bit of writing, he was out of it. Like he wasn't there all the way.
Well,
and he really did people dirty too. Like what he did with what are the original Star Trek writers. And that first season of The Next Generation, like I guess they went through like 300 writers or something like that in the first 3 seasons. So it's like, holy shit, dude! I saw her in. She was in.
They did a reboot of MacGyver. I didn't know that.
Well, that was the one with Richard Dean Anderson, right?
Yeah, I remember MacGyver. I just didn't know they had done a reboot.
Oh.
I didn't.
Why was it? I was thinking I got that mixed up with the other show that he was in, Stargate SG-1.
I love Stargate SG-1. I did. I love that show. I don't care that it went on for too long. I still loved it.
I'll have to go back.
You realize it's like 10 seasons or something.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is I didn't like the movie, so that was why I kind of. Well, because it was for me, it was either that or it was the Fifth Element, and I chose the Fifth Element. So,
well, why not both? Because honestly, I saw Fifth Element and I saw Stargate. I loved them both.
Well, I don't know what it was. I think I had a thing against Kurt Russell at the time. Like, this is years ago when I was a kid. I guess I just didn't like Kurt Russell or something. Like,
dude,
yeah,
what the hell?
I don't know. I like him now. It's just
okay. I know. I get that.
20 some odd years ago. Like. 25 years ago.
What did Kurt Russell do to you as a child? Literally.
Snake Plissken. No, just kidding.
You shut your mouth. Snake Plissken's kick ass. I've actually got a figure of him.
Kidding. I'm so kidding. And I knew that because you like him. And not only that, but you got me into the Big Trouble in Little China. So
yeah, that's right. Because I'm
officially a Kurt. I hadn't seen that movie either until I watched it, and I'm a huge fan
with me and Alicia. Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Kim Cattrall. So,
well, how can you not be? It's Kim Cattrall. Not to mention she played Lieutenant Valeris in Undiscovered Country.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few Vulcans I wouldn't mind doing Pong Far with.
Well, it's just Robin Curtis wasn't bad, and we got to remember the original Kirstie Alley. Oh man, in a Kirstie Alleyist. Like
no, her Kirstie Alleyist was that and Cheers.
Yeah, or Two Men or Look Who's Talking Now.
Oh yeah,
her and John Travolta. Oh my goodness. That was a long time ago.
It did, Vince. My ex-wife could watch Big Trouble 45 times a day. I had to hide the DVD at times. Hey, I know she's your ex-wife. I'll say this. She had good taste in movies.
That was a good one. No, like I said, I think it was at the time. I felt the same way about Patrick Swayze. So, like, yeah. I wasn't that big a fan of Patrick Swayze either.
James, my mom loved Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from LA. Yeah,
I have to go back and watch Escape from LA. I've never actually watched that movie before. So.
I actually saw it in theaters. Here's the crazy thing: I never saw Escape from New York, but I have seen it. I did love Escape from LA. I've actually got. They did a line of figures back in the day. It was back in the 90s with the McFarlane Toys. It was called Movie Maniacs, and they did one of Snake Plissken. I never got it, but I got it secondhand from a guy who deals in like vintage toys, and I got it for like I think $15. I was like, "You're coming home. I'll send you a picture of it sometime."
Oh heck yeah, dude! My next thing is I'm gonna try to get me a shelf.
Everybody's trying to get a shelf. I
got to get a nerd shelf. I mean, I can't do this without a nerd shelf. I mean, I feel naked here. Like,
well,
with no nerd shelf.
Well, being as I stream mostly in our living room, I miss my posters on our one wall, and we're getting. I gotta get 3 frames for the 3 posters. I got a brand new one today. I'm gonna put it right behind my recliner, and this is gonna trigger some people, and I do not care. That's part of the reason. But 2, I love these movies. The one that's gonna be right behind my chair. We got the theatrical today of the teaser poster for Cruella.
Oh, nice.
Right next to that is going to be the teaser for Captain Marvel, and right next to that is going to be Guardians.
Very nice. Very nice, dude. That's actually an interesting choice, especially with Captain Marvel. But I respect it.
Well, it's the teaser poster. You don't really see her. It's her standing in the oh, for heaven's sakes, the doorway to the hangar, and she's really small, and it says "higher, further, faster" in the imprint above it.
Nice. No, I have nothing bad against that movie. I like that movie quite a bit. Actually.
It was you know what the thing. When we went to see it, and me and Man Ambassador, we went and saw it opening weekend, and we walked out, and I had listened to all the big heads on YouTube going, blah, 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 blah. And we walked out. I was like, "Honey, did any of that seem woke to you?" She's like, "No. If anything, it seemed a little bit like Captain America." I was like, "You too." She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, no, and then that's kind of like when I started having my little like mental realization that a lot of those channels are just BS. Like,
yeah,
it's just so much so that it's just like, oh, yeah,
Vince,
no.
yeah, Vince is like,
well, Solo was the initial one, like,
yeah, and Vince. I should specify we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 poster. We don't have it for the first one, unfortunately.
Even the second one was great too. I mean,
yeah. Well, here's the crazy thing: if we had the proper setup and we had the money to do it, they're the actual like theatrical posters that are 2-sided that you could put like a light behind, and it would shine through, and it would show both on both sides.
Oh wow, that's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah,
if we had.
Or they are looking for the mid-30s for a sway guy that got hurt by powerful women.
Yeah, pretty much. Can't seem to handle it, which, you know.
The thing for me with Cruella was the fact it was Emma Stone. She has been an actress that has consistently impressed me in her ability to perform and to act.
Yeah. Oh, ever since Superbad, I've liked her.
I tried to watch Superbad like a week or so ago, and I couldn't. I watched it when I was a few years younger than I am now, and I was fine with a lot of the profanity. But I guess maybe now that I'm older, I couldn't. The profanity didn't necessarily bother me, but I'm like, this seems like just swearing for swearing's sake, and I just stopped the movie. I didn't go back to it. Yeah. I don't hate it, but just
no, fair enough. No, I agree. It all starts with Nerdrotic, and then everybody just copies him.
And I do want to address James. Guardians of the Galaxy game does look good.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things. I haven't watched the trailer for it or anything, but I have seen clips of it. And I'm like, this looks good.
Heck yeah. Well, heck, I'm probably going to wrap it up here in about 5 minutes or so. We've gone about an hour and a half, which is pretty good for me. Pretty good. I've got ones where it's just me here for like the half hour, 45 minutes, nobody shows up, and I'm just like, all right, I'll leave.
Well,
it's always nice to actually have somebody to talk to. So thank you for
yeah.
coming on, man. I do appreciate it quite
Hey,
a bit.
Brian, you and me, we go back. I
This is
mean,
true.
we've talked about this numerous times. You and me, we go back a ways.
Mhm.
And if
Well,
I'm
this
ever
is one
free,
of my original YouTube friends here. Like,
and you're one of mine.
Yeah.
You're one of mine. I'm glad. You're good people, Brian. And
I definitely try as much as I can to just kind of.
to quote a wise man, try not, do, or do not. There is no try.
True. This is very true. But no, I just in summation, I'm really glad that we have this to talk about. Like, as far as the nostalgia of some of the things that brought us joy when we were kids. Like,
Oh yeah.
Any kind of video game for me. I mean, I grew up on that generation that grew up on video games basically.
Same here.
So it's like looking back at some of the stuff that I used to play and some of the reasons why I became a fan of what I am today. It always brings back good feelings, and I love the fact that I normally I'm on like DC streams lately and stuff like that, but we do have some Star Trek fans out there, and I'm hoping when we get more content we can have more discussions about the upcoming shows and stuff. So like it should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So nothing but good times in the future for this channel here.
Indeed. And Brian, always a pleasure to talk with you, man. You know that.
Oh, dude, anytime, man. I had the stroke of inspiration thanks to that dude Vince. He started talking about he wanted me to add him on STO, which I still haven't done yet. I'm going to do that as soon as I get off of here. I know. Dude, I haven't even fired it up until earlier today to make sure it was patched. But like he got me thinking about some of the other, some of the other games. Oh, see, look at that, dude. N64, Shadows of the Empire. Like that game was intense.
Don't get me started.
That game was intense. Like, oh man. I miss some of those games.
Oh, yeah, when they introduced one of the greatest characters ever, Dash Rendar.
Mm-hmm. Well, that I liked. What was the other one that they did with Kyle Katarn?
Dark Forces.
Yeah, the Jedi Academy trilogy or whatever.
Jedi Academy, Dark Forces. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then Jedi Outcast. That was the one I had for.
I remember that one
GameCube.
too.
I love that game. That was a fun game.
Yeah,
and there's his game code for STO if anyone wants to add him. So.
I don't play, but hey, Vince, pleasure to meet you, man. Nice to know that there's a lot of good. Nice to know there's good eggs out there. Yeah,
no, we got a lot of good friends coming over from other channels. So.
Did you see our little buddy, our little mass buddy, Max is back?
Oh yeah, I was on with him last night.
Oh, that's right, you were. I was in the chat. I said, well.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to see him back.
Yeah,
I like Max a lot. He's one of the first people that allowed me to come on, and I'm glad that things are kind of coming full circle for that side of the group, especially with what happened last year with all the stuff between certain coroners and planets out there.
Don't get me started.
Oh no, it's actually pretty funny. There's a lot of defectors now.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, people are finally waking up. I mean, it's kind of like with a certain overlord who's overlord of nothing.
Yeah. And I like a lot of the people that have come over. Paul, I know we've had our differences in the past. Yeah, we've had our differences in the past, but he's a good dude.
I listened to him for a little bit while I was watching, and I was like, this guy has got a good brain in his head. Why in the world was he associated with those mental rejects?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I don't hold it against him. I mean, no, I called him what was I calling him? I called him a mouthpiece for Andy Signore.
Jeez.
Well, and he told me, he's like, you were kind of right on that one. And I'm like, well,
That's who she was talking about.
Mhm.
I remember I was watching watching a video or a stream by Saggy, and she was talking about somebody named Paul.
Yeah.
That's him.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I remember now because he tried to. What's it?
He got get on with Matt Jarbo. He wanted to try to get a gotcha moment with him.
Yeah. I remember Saggy talking about that. I'm like, wait just a damn minute here. Paul. That's it. Algae
Yeah.
Helix.
But no, like I said, he's a good dude, and you know,
He's got a good brain in his head. He knows it. He's got.
Oh,
good
dude,
taste
he's
in movies.
knowledgeable, and he's got
Yeah.
good stuff. So
Why the
I
hell
can't say
is he-
nothing too bad about the guy. I mean, he just fell in with the wrong crowd, and I understand that, dude. We all do. I think when I got on here, I was part of the menace, so like I can't say nothing. So
I wasn't really
won't say
part of
nothing.
anything until I was part of a short-lived order, and then, well, it died. And
Yeah,
well,
you know, but we
there was
moved on.
yeah, we really moved on.
Well, quite a bit. I mean, and I think it was like fortuitous that we had other things to talk about besides Star Wars at the time. So it was like, looking back, I'm kind of glad we kind of shifted off into the Snyder fandom. So I was like, all right, I can get behind that.
I got I said my 2 cents on that a couple months ago or so. I forget now.
Well, it's a lot of that stuff has died down. So
has, and I'm glad to see that it has.
I'm happy to see it because I didn't want to see a good group turn into a bad group. So like,
I hear you. Man.
And it had that potential. So like, I'm really glad to see that.
Yeah,
cooler heads prevailed, at least for the most part. I mean, there's some firebrands, you know, but that tends to be a part of the YouTube experience. So
it does.
You just kind of roll with the punches.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn how to. I will say 2 of the ones that I've had the most fun with is Ryan Riviera and a regular Neil. Those guys are funny as hell.
Neil's cool. I like Neil. He's good.
I've actually streamed with him a couple of times over on his channel. I've streamed, I think, once or twice, or just maybe once with Ryan, and they are 2 of the most down to earth. Although not Ryan, but Neil's got a mouth on him, particularly if you game pissed. But
hey, what's up, man? Not much. I'm just wrapping it up here, chatting with my good friend, the Ambassador. Man, we're just having a nice little chat, man. It's good times. Tonight I'm going to be on the Nicotina show, midnight, 3 a.m. Eastern, to watch Loki episode 5. So,
when to go after this one?
Well, I haven't done a watch party with Nicotina since the end of Falcon Winter Soldier. So this should be, be pretty good.
It was back last week, actually. It was last Monday. I binged Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I thought it was a great show. Like I watched it every week.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. I mean, I binged it in a day.
Well, and I also like how the show flipped things on its head. Like everybody was like, "It's going to be the wokest show known to man." It's like it really wasn't.
Up.
And not only that, but like the bad guys were Antifa, so I like that.
In a manner of speaking, yes,
I like that. I thought that was interesting.
The only thing I will say this is a minor critique. The only thing I didn't like about the villains was the girl. Now, not the fact that she was a girl, but I just didn't find her very.
I liked her better as Infus Nest in Solo, but I see what you're saying. Like
I did not find her intimidating. I didn't find her intriguing. I mean, she was okay, but I kept thinking to myself, you are in over your freaking head
the whole time. Like
you are in over your freaking head. You are being schooled by everybody, your mother, your gateway by the skin of your teeth, and even by the end, the others that were with her were like, yeah, this is not going to work.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But aside from that, I mean, I love the fact, and well, spoilers for anybody who has the same Falcon or Winter Soldier. I love the fact that Sharon Carter is a bad guy now. I love that. I
like it when it flips things on its head. Let's see.
Yeah.
I didn't know these type of channels were here until about a week before the Snyder Cut came out. Well, hey, man, that's honestly, that's kind of how a lot of people have found me. It's just being on Enosh's show most of the time. it's nice. I kind of have a co-host situation going on there. So
Well, hey, you ever want to co-host? I'm always, me. I'm always going to. So,
well, with work, I work like mid
Mhm.
shifts, so it's like I don't get
Mhm.
off of work until like 7. So I
Yeah.
do like 11 to 7. So it munches like my entire day.
Yeah, I
As
hear
a matter
you.
of fact, I just put in, shh, don't tell anyone, but I might be going back to my old job.
Hey,
Um,
not liking the new one as much, or
well, it's just, it's okay. So I work at a sandwich shop.
Yeah, I get
And my 20th high school reunion's coming up.
Mhm.
And I don't know. There's a little pride part of me that's like, uh,
I hear you. I do. I was looking for people talking trash.
that's
about
how I
Mark.
found Max. Honestly, that's how I found this community. Is I found people that were throwing shade at the Phantom Menace, and Max was like the loudest one.
Oh man, don't get me started.
We're talking old Max, like a year and a half, 2 years old Max, like
before he mellowed a little bit.
mhm.
Yeah, I will say of all the people I've met, Max is by far he's good people, and I don't get to work with this other person as much as I would like to. I mean, I would love either to have him on or be on his go over and do a Hollywood After Dark. I love Matt. Okay, I don't
Oh yeah,
love.
no,
I,
I get what you're saying though. Matt Jarbo's a good dude. And I
Matt,
like Matt
Matt
Jarbo
Jarbo,
because
he
he's like
gets
the weary veteran of YouTube. You know what I mean? Like he's been there, done that, seen the stuff, wrote the book.
He gets a bum rap from a bunch of, well, to be candid, assholes who aren't even half as talented as they pretend to be. Just saying. And I know he's a grown man. He can take care of himself. I know I'm maybe a year or two older than he is, but you know what?
But no, it's a lot of it's uncalled for though. I mean, he doesn't.
Yeah, so he false
he
flagged a couple of big videos. Big freaking whoop. Grow a spine.
Well, and not only that,
backbone.
but what were the people that he false flagged doing to him? So it's like, no, dude, it doesn't negate the fact that the people that he did that to were being awful to him. So it's like, no, dude, sorry. Turnabout's fair play in my opinion. So
yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I do.
Matt, if you ever do listen, hey man, I respect the hell out of you, dude. You're a good man.
Same here.
Nothing bad to say. And it's the same thing with like my buddy Enosh. I really appreciate what he's done for me personally, and as far as like getting my confidence up a little bit more to actually do stuff like I'm doing right now. So that means a lot. So
well, hey dude, you're still in the Hall of Justice, so stick your hand occasionally and say hi. And
yeah, well, so that's another thing. Like now I got so many like fingers and things. Like I'm in like 10 group chats.
Oh, like, dude, no wonder I never see you. I get it.
I'm so sorry. Like they're all most of them are all muted.
Dude.
Like I'm so sorry. Like
dude,
I can't. I just can't handle it. And like half of them, it's like random stuff. It's like okay, I don't care. Like is this relevant to what's going on today?
I hear you. Well, I did. I'm probably gonna be doing. I did a stream not last week because the week before last. I talked nothing but Marvel 3 hours straight. A lot of fun. I might actually do I might do a follow up this Sunday. I'm debating yet, but I am going to be doing a stream Saturday evening, talking Loki, and I haven't decided what the other topic's going to be because my geekgasms are usually I do a couple of topics, as long as I can keep a certain pain in the neck out of my chin. I think you know who I'm talking about.
I think I might. He might have a proclivity for liking a certain Spider-Man actor.
Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, you are correct. Sir.
It's a Star Trek show. I know you ain't watching.
To quote a great sideman from a great late show host. You are correct, sir. Yes. Hoyo.
Exactly.
Ed
but yeah,
McMahon,
no. If I'm off, If I'm off Saturday, I'll swing by. I like
Well,
talking Loki. It's a good show.
it is a very, very good show, and it's getting a lot of, I'll just say it, undue hate. It is. I'm sorry. It is good.
It's the same old talking points though, and that's where I'm just like, dude.
Blah, blah, blah. Strong woman, blah, blah, blah. Weak man, blah, blah, blah. I haven't been late since the bicentennial, blah, blah.
No, that's 100% right there. Hey, welcome, man. What's up? Now we're just having a good old conversation. Earlier it was nostalgia and Star Trek video games and card games and board tabletop games, all the good stuff. And then we talked a little bit more about Star Trek, got a little into the Star Wars, some Loki. So we're having some fun tonight. We're just getting ready to wrap it up. I said that like 15 minutes ago, but
and I keep you going. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's quite all right. I mean, I'm enjoying the hell out of this, and I am sorry to Megapodtastic. I told him I was only going to go for an hour. I'm sorry, man. So hopefully it didn't cut into your stream too much, my friend.
Who, me?
No, another person that we've been streaming with lately, Megapodtastic. Crazy Joe, he's a good dude.
I think they follow. I think I saw them pop up on my Twitter. They're following me or something. Maybe I don't remember.
Yeah, he dropped a bomb in Enosh's chat. He said that he didn't like the Snyder cut.
I could do. I don't go near the lounge much anymore.
That's all right, man.
I could be just that controversial if I wanted to be.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I mean, I respect his opinion. I mean, when it came to like when I originally saw the Justice League, I didn't think much of it because I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes and stuff like that. And I just thought it was just more of the same from DC at that point. So, I mean, after everything's been said and done, it's been a good community that's kind of taken me in, which I've thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, I got on the poster, man. That's all I'm going to take home with it. Like, Mask of Shy did a artwork of all the people that are in it, and he included me. So I was like, what? Dude, this is awesome. So like, it's been fun. Like, it's been a trip ride. I got to freeze up and talk to Ray Fisher for a little bit. Ray Porter's Dark Side, I've talked to him a couple times. We were on there the other night. Wayne T. Carr, the guy that was supposed to be the Green Lantern, came in. So like, it's been really fun over there. Like, I can't say too much bad about it. And not only that, but
you're having fun. That's what matters. So.
And not only that, but a lot of them are good people. Like everybody that's over here, they mostly came from over on that channel. And we like I said, we have a good time. I've been hit or miss sometimes, just because I'll get home from work and just not feel like doing anything. Yeah. So I'll fire off some Arrow and fall asleep.
I've been watching, we still have our subscription to HBO Max, and the show I've been watching, aside from Babylon 5 for my reviews and just for the hell of it, is Big Bang Theory. I am in season 10. I'm towards the end of season 10, and I love Big Bang Theory. I do. I don't care if it's 12 seasons. I love it. I've watched every single episode, and it's been nothing but a blast to watch. And I understand. I was like, now I understand why the show was so popular.
There you go. I redid my, when I got started working again, I redid my HBO Max. So I have it again.
Oh, good.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to like I've been neglecting it lately, but that's just because I got Netflix and I've been watching the Arrowverse stuff. So
we got rid of Netflix. Just we've got Disney Plus.
There's so much out there, and to be honest, aside from a couple things, Netflix doesn't really have a whole lot to offer.
That's precisely it. That's the reason why we dropped it, because there just wasn't that much. Because I imagine eventually they're going to be, means it got a theatrical release, even though it was a limited theatrical release. I imagine they'll be releasing Army of the Dead on Blu-ray or 4K or whatever. So, but yeah,
Oh, guys, I love Shazam too. Shazam was one of my favorites out of the post Justice League. Shazam.
I love Shazam. I can't remember if you were on that stream. You may not have been.
I was. We were talking about Shazam and Aquaman.
Shazam, Aquaman, and Joker. Yeah. Yeah, I was on a regular Neil the other. This wasn't too long ago, and I told him I was like, Shazam for me was underrated because it has a really strong theme about family, and the fact that you got Billy trying to find his way, and
That's actually a good show, Vince, or a good movie.
what is it?
For the Love of Spock, the Spock documentary.
Oh yeah, that was
That's on
they
Netflix.
actually
It's really good.
there's actually an episode of Big Bang where they have Adam Nimoy doing a documentary about his father. That could have been it, maybe. I don't
Mhm.
remember.
Well,
But
I think Jim Parsons is in it and stuff like that.
might have been. I can't remember what episode it was, but Adam Nimoy actually directed an episode of Babylon 5. I think it might have been the season 3 finale, maybe. I'd have to double check, but yeah.
Yeah, there was a tie-in for it. It was the same documentary.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. I mean, the guy was a legend, and
The only thing that killed me is when he did the line from Star Trek 2 and Transformers 3 to Dark of the Moon. That just absolutely gutted me. I was like, I cannot watch any more of these stupid ass Star Trek Transformer movies.
They lost me after the first one.
I watched the first 3. After that, I was done.
When Megan Fox left the series, I was like, I'm done. So she was in the first 2 movies, I think.
She was, yes, she was in the first 2, and then they wrote her out essentially.
Yeah, well, you know, what can you say about Michael Bay? But all right. So I said it before, but this time I actually mean it. We'll wrap it up. Let's see. I'm gonna get your link here, Mr. Ambassador, and I'll post it in the chat for those who wish to go over and give you a subscription. But if anything, go ahead and tell them where you are and what you do.
Well, you can find me on my channel, The Ambassadorial Wing. I cover, pop culture, modern, retro. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, if it's cool and it's fun, I cover it. If it's Marvel, if it's DC, I cover it. If it's Star Wars or Star Trek, I cover it. And if you're tired of listening to the same talking heads talk about the same crap and talk about how everything is woke and everything is sucks, come check me out. You can find me on just about every social media platform that exists: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
All right. And your link has been posted in the chat. So yeah, be sure to go check out Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you. Here. Brian, you didn't have to do that, man, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's quite all right. It's quite all right. And let's see. I usually have something for us to go out with. So let's find out why we like to party.
Why do you want to listen to the TV with the stereo on?
Because I like to party.
You know what?